you are seeing this. Drop a hi below. Let us know where you're watching this from. Or if it's a replay, comment hashtag replay. We'd love to say hi back. Okay.
There we go.
Yep, we are live. Awesome. So today's video, we want it to be more of an in-depth educational video covering different phototherapy patches that exist that we'd love to basically educate you on and share their functions, their benefits. I'm going to let Dr. Staci get it started, and then we go from there.
All right, awesome. So I'm sure you've probably heard about X39 by now. This is the flagship patch for phototherapy in the world. Literally, this is the only patch that exists that does this. So our X39, all of our patches look just like this. Looks like a little round Band-Aid. Put it anywhere you want on your body. But our X39 is the flagship patch because it elevates GHKCU copper peptide. Copper peptide is the fountain of youth. It declines as we age. This elevates it, a wavelength of light that is patented, of course, elevates your own GHK in your blood. And when in turn upregulates over 4,000 of your genes back to their young, youthful, healthy state. One of those genes is called P63, and it activates, elevates, and mobilizes stem cells. Stem cells are the holy grail of healing. Stem cells have the ability to heal anything and everything within inside of the body. The body knows how to heal itself. This turns on the body's ability to do that over time. We put it on in the morning when we get up, leave it on for 12 hours, take it off, throw it away, or put it on our pet. Get up the next morning and put on a brand new patch. We do that at least 1 month for every decade we are old to wake up those dormant stem cells that go to work to repair and regenerate. And of course, I'm here 4 years later, still patching with the X39 because I am 50, almost 51 years old, and my biological age is 25. So all organs, all systems, all cells functioning half of my chronological age. That is X39. So we're going to talk about the dynamic duo, and that is the Aeon patch that goes with this. Each patch can be worn by itself. You can use them individually, but the Aeon is the best partner for the X39 because this reduces inflammation systemically. All your inflammatory markers, C-reactive protein, cytokines, all of that. But it also brings your nervous system into that parasympathetic state. So when you're elevating and activating stem cells, we know inflammation is a consumer of stem cells. So we partner these two together as that dynamic duo to really help heal the body at the deeper level by reducing the inflammation and bringing the body into balance. Now, my third patch I want to talk to you about is X49. I know it looks similar to the X39 in the packaging because it is. It elevates a daughter peptide, AHKCU copper peptide. And so that peptide is powerful for elevating those stem cells that are responsible for brain, cardiovascular, muscle, lean muscle mass, stopping bone loss and increasing bone density. It's huge when you look at athletes and fitness and performance and recovery. But partnering these two together are super powerful and synergistic effect because it's like a mother-daughter combo. We do see benefits with blocking EMF radiation from using the X49. We can see changes in people's skin. Their skin is not as sensitive to the sun, so it blocks harmful, damaging rays from the sun as well too. And of course, we can see massive hair growth faster than minoxidil in a 60-day period. No medical claims were made during that portion, of course. Okay, so moving right along, I want to talk to you about some of our supportive patches. So first off, I'm going to talk to you about LifeWave. LifeWave is the patch that gets rid of pain on the spot. It is not your quick fix. It is your quick fix. It's not your root of the problem. It is not going to help with the things that like Aeon and X39 do. This is just, I'm in pain. I need something now, and I don't want to reach for a bottle of something. LifeWave is a 2-patch system. It triggers beta oxidation in the body. It opens up energy channels. Pain is stuck energy. And so we see immediate results. People go from like an 8 to a 2 or a 10 to a 1 or maybe even to a 0 with the LifeWave. And then, of course, it's a 12-hour patch too. It does have a patch that's identical to it, but named something different, and that's called the AccuLife. And AccuLife is registered for pets, horses, dogs, cats. You can't have something licensed for people that are licensed for animals. So these are identical. You can use AccuLife on yourself and you can use IceWave on your pets. It doesn't matter. But just so you know, we do have something licensed for pets. And of course, you can use your X39 and Aeon on your pets as well, too. Now we have something for helping with sleep. We have a patch called Silent Nights, and this patch works with your body's own circadian rhythm to reset that, elevating your own melatonin. So massive impacts in that deep REM sleep as well as the length of sleep. And I'm sure you all know sleep is right up there at number one for what you need for overall health and wellness and vitality and longevity. You've got to have that sleep every night. And you, of course, know if you're not sleeping because maybe you're in pain or you're stressed, then nothing functions correctly. So we want to definitely help you get a good night's sleep. And then we have our SP6. SP6 balances the endocrine system. And of course, you know the endocrine system is a set of glands and organs that are responsible for hormone balancing. So we see improvements in appetite and weight, curbing that appetite, boosting the metabolism. Of course, we see improvements in all of our organs and glands with our SP6, whether it be thyroid function or pancreas function. So lots of huge benefits here. And of course, we know that indirectly impacts your cardiovascular system in a massive way as well when you can balance that. So the last patch I'm going to talk to you about, Dr. Mel has, and that's our Aloe Vita. And Aloe Vita is a nighttime only patch, like the Silent Nights. It does elevate melatonin a little bit, but in a different way. It elevates a peptide, the epithalamic peptide in your pineal gland. And of course, we know that pineal gland is the gateway to a divinity, correct? And so we want to connect, and that pineal gland allows us to do that, to be tapped in and to stay focused, not only in our brain, but in our mind at the same time. And so that epithalamic peptide does a lot. It does increase the telomerase, so we do see lengthening of telomeres. Again, not making a claim, but we do see that with using the Aloe Vita and wearing that at night. Also helps to reduce oxidative and inflammatory stress in the body. And of course, we do promote this as our skincare patch. Of course, collagen, elastin, things like that. It does so much more than just the skin, as I just mentioned. But we do see lines go away and wrinkles and dark spots and saggy, crepey stuff. And then, of course, we see moles fall off the body and we see scars disappear. It's kind of remarkable, but the Aloe Vita is a fantastic patch as well, too. So, Dr. Mel, I know you want to talk to them about the last three patches that we have.
Absolutely. So my favorite is the energy enhancer. I always wear them. If you don't see me wearing them, it's probably because I forgot to take them off the night before. It helps to turn fat into fuel. So that's the energy source that you get. And I contribute everything that I've done the last 4 years because of energy enhancer, because it gives you that sustained energy throughout the day and you don't get the crash, like a caffeine crash, and you can do a lot throughout your day. This is a patch that our U.S. Olympic team uses it. Our U.S. Navy Army team uses it. So it's amazing. I absolutely love it. The other one is glutathione. So glutathione is your master antioxidant. In our liver, we have a conveyor belts. The first phase is where the toxins go in, they turn into a reactive metabolite. And the second phase is where these metabolites have to get attached to these conjugates. Our major conjugate is a glutathione. It's our master antioxidant. When glutathione gets attached to these toxins, they get neutralized, and that is how toxin leaves your body. However, in this world where we have so much stress and alcohol and toxins and environmental toxins, our glutathione levels are extremely low. We have seen it with cancer patients, like obviously not making any claims, but when they take any glutathione IVs, they see a huge relief in recovering from cancer. And the IV or the supplements, they're only alive in your body for about 7 minutes. It has a shelf life of 7 minutes. Whereas by using this patch, you are activating your own body's glutathione levels by 300% and sustaining it for 24 hours. So this is huge detoxing. A lot of people get sick when they use it every day. So this is a patch you can use every other day. It's not necessarily an everyday patch. But the next thing I want to talk to you is Carnosine. So I like to call it my Zen patch because when I wear it, like my mind completely stops and I really get that deep brainwave restoration type of a feeling. Carnosine is a major antioxidant that likes to hang out in your heart, brain, lungs, and eyes. So anybody that has any issues in those areas, they need to be patching with Carnosine. Now, if you're somebody that really has like a lot of stress, or a lot of like mental chatter throughout the day, I recommend wearing carnosine during the day. However, if you wear it at night, paired especially with aloe vera, you really can feel like a complete restoration the next day you wake up like a new person. So these are our absolute favorite patches that we like to use. And we wanted to share some more info with you. But of course, as different practitioners in the field, I know each of you have different specialties. And this is why for Staci and I, it's important to educate people, educate the practitioners on how to properly use them. Because if you're just handing out patches to people and not necessarily addressing the information, like let's say you love X39 and you keep saying, hey, let's use X39, and you're not addressing the underlying information, then your patient or client is not going to see a great results. So it's really important to understand what organs and what functions are out of balance and what combination you need to use to help the people that you have to bring them back to balance. We also have a new product that I would love for you to share with them, Staci, the Celergize. Yeah.
Absolutely, I definitely will. But I have to say this first because I've never heard you talk about carnosine before.
Yeah.
And this is a prime example of how different patches do different things in different bodies and we have different responses.
Yeah.
So for me, carnosine is what helped, when we got our PhD in functional medicine. I knocked that out in 4 months because
Wow.
my brain processing time was so fast.
Wow.
I literally couldn't keep up typing as fast as my brain was spitting out the information. So for me, this is no Zen Zone patch. This patch is like my brain on steroids with as fast processing as I've ever seen in my entire life. So that's interesting that you're like, woo, let's Zen out. I'm like, woo, I'm running a race here. So very interesting. I love it. But we all do respond differently to the patches because we're all different, our bodies on the inside, right?
Yeah.
And so it's amazing that you have a technology that is so smart that it knows exactly what your body needs.
Exactly.
So we don't have to dose. We don't have to figure it out. For Mel, it was calm. For me, it was Zoom, right? And so that's the same way with all of the patches. Your body adapts because it knows what to do. So Celergize, so fired up about this. It was just released last week. David invented all the patches, of course. David invented this exact formulation, and obviously you're gonna be like, well, those ingredients already exist: magnesium, potassium, zinc, copper. Okay, yes, I get that, but these exact dosing, these exact amounts formulas are precursors to each of these patches, mostly the daytime patches. The nighttime evening formula is coming later this year. But when we look at elevating peptides, peptides are chains of proteins, amino acids. That's what our patches do, are triggering these processes in the body. They need certain nutrients to function correctly. And we know that 70+% of the population is deficient in magnesium and potassium. And of course, there's multiple types of magnesium. So being able to elevate your electrolytes correctly in the proper amounts and being able to have the proper correct amounts of amino acids in your body, that's what this does. Not to mention it has sea buckthorn in it, cyan fox, which is a massive stem cell activator to support our X39 in activating and mobilizing and repairing those stem cells, right? We know they become dormant, they're tired. And so we're going to help all of the patches work even better, faster with using the Celergize.
Amazing.
And then the other thing I want to talk about, of course, is our X2O, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned about X2O?
Totally.
So the X2O water machine comes out next month. If you want to learn more in depth about it, send us a private message or put a comment below. Send me X2O info. We do have a private website that is password protected, so we won't be posting it publicly. You won't be able to get into it anyways. But it has so much information. This water machine is not just a water machine. It is nothing that's on the planet. David invented it. He secured 20 patents in the process of inventing this technology. In a nutshell, you have a filtration system that gets rid of all forever chemicals, all heavy metals, everything. And then you have the hydrogen oxygen infusion, and then the bond angle is changed by the 6 wavelengths of light that he has discovered and patented, that literally infuse into the water. It's a 45-minute process. You drink 16 ounces a day, just one time, and that healing light enters your body into the inside, where these patches activate from the outside. The water goes on the inside, and we've now completed 6 studies that have been done so far, hundreds and hundreds of participants. 100% had significant results. Like things changed when you're looking at biopulsars, you're looking at EEGs, you're looking at EKGs, or HRV, you're looking at blood work, you're looking at urinalysis. 15 seconds was the average time that people had a response. The longest was 2 minutes. Over 100 different markers tested, all changed. Things that fast from one glass of water. And I promise you, I've drank it. I can't wait. My machine should be here any second now. This will launch to the public within the next 30 days, but it has made massive impact in people's health that have gotten their hands on it a little bit early. You know, we've got people, there's so many people on the planet that are so sick, but it has made a massive impact in people's lives. And just those of us that have got to taste it, and drink it, there's about 300 of us plus that were able to consume it last year at the conference we had in October at the big, huge Dallas yearly conference. And so we got to experience it then, and everyone experienced things. Like people were like, okay, woo, I can see it, don't need my glasses. How did that just happen in 15 seconds? You know, so, I mean, I went from a 1.5 to a 1.25, and I only got to drink it literally like 3 days in a row. That's it. So it makes a massive difference in all areas of your body. So that is coming. Again, if you want information about that, to secure your spot, you have to have an account to be able to secure your spot to buy this product at the discounted price. So it's not going to be available, you know, any other way than you need an account. So please let us know if you want an account, if you're interested in this. Again, it's not an alkalizing water. It's not a, you know, a hydrogen water. This doesn't exist. David himself holds over 200 patents currently. And everything that he has invented is for improving quality of life, improving humanity. He said, I was just with him in Switzerland last weekend, and he said by the end of next year, he'll have secured over 300 patents with all the inventions, all the things that he has. Like he shared, I literally took 2 notebooks of pages during this like 1 hour business meeting, all the things that he has coming down the pipe for LifeWave. So it's really just about improving everyone's quality of life. And these patches are the foundation of that. We are a 20-year-old company. This technology is not new. It may be new to you, but it is making a huge impact in people's lives and activating stem cells. It's just not, I mean, yeah, we can fast. Don't get me wrong. We're huge fasters, right? We intermittent fast. We love to fast, activate those gut stem cells. And give me a cup of hot cocoa, cacao powder, right? I'm going to activate some more stem cells. You know, we do all the stuff, detoxes and all that. Of course, we have lots of tools in our toolbox, as you do as well, too. This is just something that has zero contraindications, zero interactions, zero side effects, nothing, absolutely nothing interacts with this, which makes it so safe. And of course, it's accessible. Anybody can get this in the 82 countries we're in, and it's affordable. It's so affordable, literally a couple dollars a day. And you're talking about life-changing photobiomodulation technology. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life. And obviously, I'm almost 51. I've never seen anything like this ever. And it works perfectly in conjunction with anything you're currently using or doing. So I'm fired up about it, if you can tell.
Yeah, totally. There are some people that sometimes ask, like, how soon can we see results? What would you say to those people?
So some people see results immediately. Some people feel something right away. You know, with X39, the elevation of GHK, just that in of itself, people may feel something. They may feel more energy. They may have more clarity. They may be in less pain. They may sleep better that night. And then other people, it's months and months and months before they feel anything. I'll tell you this, the second you put it on, it elevates GHK in the blood. It resets, upregulates over 4,000 genes. The minute you put it on, that's the power of GHK. There should really be a Nobel Peace Prize for Dr. Lauren Burkhart that discovered this peptide in our body over 50 years ago. Because if you go to PubMed, you can type in GHKCU. There's 13 pages of benefits of elevating this peptide, but who's signing up to inject themselves daily? And of course, we know topical creams are amazing, but they're for the face, right? That's not going to fix my heart or my kidneys or my liver or my brain. Cream's not going to do that. So this elevates that GHK, which is so powerful in the body. So based on our studies, 3 to 6 weeks is the average time. About 80% of the people are going to notice those changes in the first 3 to 6 weeks, like the pain reduction, the better, energy, physical, mental, faster wound healing. I have surgeons that require this. It's not an option. Pre-op, it's at least 1 month. Post-op, they're up to 6 months now. At first, they were 2 months post-op, and now it's 6 months. And I have their videos on interviews, so you're more than welcome to check that out if you want to, with even their before and after pictures with patients seeing the difference in their wound healing, because GHK is that powerful. So 3 to 6 weeks is pretty common in noticing something, but it may be another 20% or 3 to 6 months. So I don't know how fast you're going to experience something, but I can tell you this: when you use the energy enhancer and when you use the LifeWave, these patches are immediate changes. With this one, immediate, within seconds, minutes. This one within the same day. You can absolutely feel this increased stamina and energy throughout your day without the crash. And with this, you can 100% feel the pain gone right away. So these are your immediates. Sometimes Aeon is a little bit faster because of reducing the inflammation if there's pain. So you can put it on the spot. It may help with that faster, but we also notice with Aeon, it helps calm the nervous system. So especially like for our kiddos that are running around that need that help up here and calming that nervous system, we do see changes right out of the gate for that benefit of regulating the parasympathetic nervous system into that balanced state.
Amazing. And can you share with people how this company came about? Like, who's David Schmidt and all that?
David's amazing. Like I said, I just spent the week with him in Switzerland last week, and I work very closely with him. He's going to be doing a huge event in Orlando. If you're interested in attending next month in July for us, I would be more than happy to send you a link and the information. But David is the owner of the company. He is the CEO, and he is the inventor of this technology. And like I mentioned, he's been inventing his whole life. He's 62 years old. But he actually, the company that he was working with, he and his partners, his business partners, were contracted by the U.S. Department of Defense about 25 almost years ago now. And they were inventing survival equipment for the Navy SEALs. And David invented this oxygenation machine that was literally the size of a Coke can, which had never been, everything he invents, it doesn't exist, right? That's what invention, I don't know. Because I don't have any brain cells for inventing things. But he got, I think, all of them. I mean, he's like a Tesla. He's like an Einstein. I mean, he's just a genius. But he was inventing these things that were so impressive to the SEALs, to the Department of Defense, that they asked if he could contribute to the problem the SEALs were having with sustainability, with energy. That I was thinking oxygenation, like the VO2 max. They were not moving. Their stamina was horrible because they were on stimulants, they were on uppers, they were on all kinds of caffeine and things. And so he invented the energy enhancer, the patch that Mel has on her wrist, that 2-patch system that triggers beta oxidation, turns body fat into fuel. He invented this for the SEALs. Worked out great. They were loving it, coming off the caffeine and all the uppers and whatnot. Things were better for their quality of life. This was literally invented as a super black ops undercover special project, never to be brought to the public. That's how most technology that's being used by our Department of Defense, our government, our Army, Navy, Marines, the SEALs, especially the baddest men on the planet, we don't see that stuff. Like, there's so much that we don't see. But what happened was, unfortunately, here in the U.S., 9/11 happened. And when that happened, the U.S. Department of Defense pulled out of that mini submission that David was working on with the SEALs and decided, obviously, to protect the country in a larger way and to bear more arms. And so David was out without a massive job, right? A massive contract that he and his partners were involved in. So he thought, okay, what am I going to do? Let me go to Richard Quick, who was a 6-time USA Olympic female gold medalist athlete coach, Olympic athletes doing their best, right, at Stanford University. And so he started working with Richard. What they found was 6 of the 8 of the female gold medalists that used the energy enhancer on day 1, 6 of them beat their gold medalist time. That's just crazy. So, of course, Richard's like, what's going on here? So David spends 2 years at Stanford University doing clinical studies and finding out, what do we need to study? What do we need to look at? What proof do we need to say this is really legit? So, here comes double-blind placebo-controlled studies. And you can find some of them on PubMed. But, of course, we have a link if you want to see all the studies. We have over 90. and they're all available for you to take a look at. Just let us know. So those 2 years went by, and then David started talking to people about this technology, and people started referring him to others. And he's like, I've got to get the word out about this. The world needs this because, energy drinks were really popular about 20 plus years ago. And so I don't know, hopefully they're not right now. I don't know, but I think they were a really big craze back then. And so this was going to be something that could help people to have the stamina, endurance, your athletes and everyday people. So anyway, everyone kept saying you need to start a company, and it needs to be a word of mouth marketing. It needs to be people telling people, because you can't put this on the shelf and have people pick it up and know what to do with it or what it's going to do. And he already had ideas for other patches like the Ice Wave, which came next, AccuLife and Silent Nights. Those all came right after that. In the SP6 before he got into the patches that elevated the peptides. And so he started LifeWave. We celebrated our 20-year anniversary back in October last year at that convention. And so 20 years of LifeWave, word of mouth, moving across the globe. And so we are, like I said, 82 countries and solid, stable. Let's be honest. We are number one for the second year in a row. And multi-level marketing, network marketing, word of mouth marketing, whatever you want to call that, people telling people we're number one on the globe, literally on the entire planet the last 2 years. We've grown over 3,000% since the release of the X39 6 years ago. And the answer is, people are like, well, why have I never heard of it? I'm already answering your question where you're actually saying it. You've never heard of it because it's word of mouth, and people are really now starting to see massive changes in their body from the release of the X39 with the stem cell activation. And because we have moved to these platforms of Zoom and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, otherwise you see the people you see in your towns, right? And it spreads and it grows, and we've been a solid, stable company, but it's grown exponentially in the last 5 or 6 years because of the pandemic, whatever you want to call that, and putting people on lockdown and people having to go to Zoom and connect and meet. And now we do all the virtual summits and all that kind of stuff. And so we're really, really forming alliances with people around the globe. And so LifeWave has, it's not about we're number one, we're the best. It's about we're number one in changing people's lives. We're number one in impacting people's lives and adding value to people's lives. That is what that number represents. That growth represents people around the globe that are getting real results and being able to change the quality of your life. That's huge. Give me 3 months, give me 6 months, give me a year, give me 18 months. You guys know the compound effect, right? The longer you do something, the more benefits you're going to see. Give me 2 years. We're 4 years in. It's made huge differences in our life, in our families' lives, and hundreds of thousands of other people. And that's why we're here. And that's why we're so passionate about it, because it does work perfectly in conjunction with anything. This is not end all be all, one thing does it all by any means, but it works so well in conjunction with healthy lifestyle and the things that we all know that are very, very important in helping people get their quality of life and keeping it. Mel and I are healthy, and we're going to stay that way. And we have the ability to live a very long life and not have to live in a blue zone, even though I've been to 3 of them and I love them. I'm looking forward to visiting the other 2, but I don't want to live there. I want to live where I live and still have my own blue zone right here. I want to be that 125 plus year old person and still feel the way I do right now.
Absolutely. I love it. So exciting. Amazing. So yeah, next week we're gonna dive in depth into other stuff that we have. But if you have any other questions, please tag us below. We'd love to answer them. And yeah, we'd love to Zoom with you and basically share some more resources, educational info that we have. It may be something that you may want to incorporate into your practice. For us, it's never about sales. It's about impact and education, and really sharing the resources, the protocols, everything we have on our end with you, so that you can, work with your patients to the highest ability. But yeah, till then, bye for